Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel, and I do welcome you on the program called My Point of View. My name is Chaza, right here to host you, and this program is designed to give you the stories and headlines of the week, and you do get to react to them. And I am actually joined on the panel, Mr. Mukelabai and Himba Malambo. Mr. Mukelabai, good evening and welcome to the program.
I want to be on camera. Can you see me?
Yes, I'll borrow your words to say we can see you loud and clear. Yes, indeed.
Thank God, not God, but thank God. Anyway, good to see you, Chaza. I hope you're having a blast over the weekend.
Yes, indeed. We are having quite a nice time despite the weather being so hot. And right now we are expecting the rains, but we don't know really. These are effects of climate change. We are actually feeling them, impactfully.
You mean there's no rain?
No rains, I think it's about 3 weeks or even more now.
That's why we need to change our narratives. We need to start harvesting the water. We've had abundance of water that was even, you were having floods and we're having a lot of diseases caused by the same water. So why can't we start harvesting that water and preserve that water for such kind of eventualities?
Exactly, and you've been advocating for this. I think your advocacy should not go in vain. Let's not act as though we not make recognizance of Himba, who is with us, and I should feel probably she's being maligned because she's a woman. You know how women, cry foul. Himba, good evening and welcome to the program.
Chaza, good evening and good evening, viewers. We no longer cry foul. Us, we don't do that. We are women of integrity and substance. We stand our ground. We no longer cry foul. You meet us
and equity.
I'm glad you know that. Good evening, viewers, and it's nice to be with you this evening. Hope we are going to have a very interactive program and interesting. Once again, it's nice to see you, Chaza.
Thank you so much, and it's definitely, having you on the program after a couple of weeks of your absence.
No, actually, she's been around for a while now.
I had gone on recess. I had gone on recess.
Yes, and I'm talking about particularly My Point of View. She may have been around elsewhere, but not on My Point of View. And the program has, missed her quite a lot, and it's definitely good to have you back. Without much ado, let's proceed and take a look at the first story that we have tonight, and we see you on the other side.
As the academic year starts, a number of resolutions have been made, and Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board Senior Corporate Communications Officer Giselle Wakawanda unveils the support that government will offer to students under the loan scheme.
The Board of Directors have resolved 3 issues, and these include the increase in meal allowance for the students. We were paying them 22 kwacha 15 way per day. We'll now be paying 25 kwacha per day to all students that are on the student loan scheme. The board has also approved.
Another milestone scored by the board is the implementation of a standardized accommodation fee for all students across universities. The registration fees will also be covered for students based on their financial need.
So the revision now is that if a student is not accommodated by the university and they are being sponsored by government, we are going to pay them that which the other student who's been accommodated is enjoying. So if accommodation is 4,000 per year, It means the student who is not accommodated will get 4,000. The other is to do with registration fees. You may be aware that students were paying registration fees even if they're on 100%. So there's been a revision with that. However, that one is only on a need basis.
And students at University of Zambia are pleased with the board's move. Dan Kasinyenga has thanked the board and government for addressing the students' challenges.
This hasn't been an easy step. We know to say there are a lot of things that they are working on, a lot of programs that they are working on as a government. But then looking at the students, where they try and consider the problems that the students are going through like that, we want to thank
in that it's actually a rare privilege because it's going to help a lot of students. We've got cases where students actually fail to register on time, and that actually affects them so bad, where they just try to now raise the money.
Over 28,700 students from 8 public universities are under the loan scheme.
There we have it. Students are having jubilation, for their allowances being increased by the higher education, authority there. Let me invite Himba to come first and make known her reaction. Himba, your reaction to this?
Chaza, thank you so much. And what can I say? As I was watching the video, I was trying to analyze. These are little things that we don't really get to think seriously. And I'm so proud of the board working hand in hand with the government. Because, basically, somebody is accommodated. Somebody has not been given accommodation. There's no equal share there. I'm just trying to think, and okay, where was the government coming from? Where is the board coming from? Now, basically, if you look at it, they're trying to cut the cake equally. If you're not accommodated, we are going to pay you the same amount to go and pay for accommodation. The student registration fee, it's just fantastic. And, I'm so happy the way the government is working or prioritize the education system. An economy or a country that is educated, which means the economy is reading in the right direction. Where there's so much illiteracy in the country, it becomes so difficult. And I'm so happy that even every child from the most difficult homes, they'll be able now to have at least equal share, have accommodation, be able to pay. It just, I think for me, it's a brilliant move, and I'll say bravo to the government with the board and all the supporting institutions. We said, let's educate our children, let's educate our nation. Educated nation is a healthy nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Himba. We do appreciate. And let me invite Mr. Mkelewai to come through and tell us what he holds as regards this development. Mr. Mkelewai.
Thank you so much, Chaza. Had the UPND government inherited a viable economy and a well-to-do economy or country with without any huge debts, I can tell you that every Zambian was going to be smiling by now. And this free education that UPND government or HAH together with his team advocated for is coming to pass. And we see how they prioritize education. I just wish that some of us, we were privileged to be to be educated at this time when there was free education. Unfortunately, no. Many Zambians today, many people that are now working, that are parents today, except for those that were in the Kaunda era, those in their 50s or 60s today, those are the ones that enjoyed as well, benefited free education during the Kaunda, UNIP era. And after that, everyone in the middle here, those who are educated in the middle, from the time UNIP left and the MMD came into being, and after MMD there was PF. They have gone through thick and thin when it comes to education. Despite us having a lot of resources, parents were struggling. They sacrificed their little earned money, hard-earned money, to educate their children. And that's why it's really disappointing to see some of their children who decided not to take into account the education that they paid for and start playing around. And today they're just vloggers or blogging who are just every day 24/7 on Facebook or social media, doing nothing, not earning money to feed their family, but full of complaints, blaming the government. It's a disappointment. But when we see students today going back to that era, during the Kaunda era, where they are enjoying the free education, where the boards, management board of the schools, together with the government, they are working in collaboration to push this agenda where students are helped, are assisted when it comes to financial challenges. We have to remember that the students don't earn money. They are busy investing. They are investing into the future. And now if you punish them so harshly, where that for them to attain education, they must have a lot of money, then we are being unreasonable and unfair. It is a human right violation. Education should be a human right issue, that everyone needs have access to education. So they should not leave anyone behind, because education is an equalizer. Whether you are coming from a rich family or the poor family, that should not be a barrier for you to attain education, like we used to see those days. So I am glad and happy, like Himba said, we should appreciate, despite the challenges that the current government is facing, or the current situation the Republican, the people are going through, we have a government that at least is listening and prioritizing education. Educate the nation, then you are going to eliminate this issue of economical hardship. So kudos to the government and those other stakeholders that are in support. And we want students as well to actually follow this program properly, so that they could also have good dividends tomorrow, instead of playing around and rioting and breaking other people's properties or doing other illicit activities. But they should concentrate on giving it the best in educating themselves, study, get good results, and come to the society and develop and change this narrative of these people who have been stealing our money from the word go. You are the future of this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelawa there, not forgetting Himba. We greatly appreciate. And indeed, you've put it right, that despite the pain that, the Zambians are suffering, due to the economic hardships, we can see that the government has a good intention. And this has been made manifest through, what has happened as regards the meal allowance, or an allowance of these students as it were, being raised from about 22 kwacha 15 way to 25 kwacha. That is, something that has come out positive from the Higher Education Loans Board. We do have messages coming from Mr. Mubanga Nasieku, who is actually saying, is $1 enough for a meal allowance per day for students? I heard that they will be given 25 kwacha. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nasieku. We greatly appreciate it. And I think he had another, comment other than that one. Please beam it so that we take a look at that one as well. Anyhow, a piece of bread is better than none. He has put it right. And I can see by, his attire there, he looks like, a doctor of philosophy. And doctors of philosophy, like him, they'll analyze something and not only being one-sided, but they are balanced due to the thesis kind of experience that they do have. We greatly appreciate, your comments there, Mr. Nasieku. We are so actually delighted to have you participating on the program. Let's take a look at the next story. And we are coming immediately after it and make known our reactions. Let's proceed.
A female employee has filed a complaint against her former employer, Godwip Brand, located off Mumbwa Road, Light Industrial Area, alleging negligence in addressing her medical expenses following a road accident while on a work-related journey. The incident has led her to seek intervention from a community human rights-based organization. In an interview, Faustina Chongo says on the 6th of November 2023, while traveling to Chirundu for a work-related assignment, she was involved in a road traffic accident at Kapiringozi around 14 hours. She says she was then transferred from the clinic in Chirundu to UTH and was admitted for 3 weeks without any assistance from the company.
Nankara 2 weeks vakunchito siwenza obwera ko even kutuma phone sibana tumeko phone kuti vambere mwenza kukira so life inakwera anikosera benzo ntandizira chabe ni vantu chabe vena peza kuja maneighbors mu hospital muja ndiye benzo ntandizira anapora 2 weeks pena kwana anapora ambo ntumizira drama hapo kuja vanambo ntumizira drama hapo kuja paka nankara 3 weeks muja vananchita stage vananchita sabatinima nikalikuenda kuja ku hospital.
Ms. Chongo alleges that she has been following the company for financial assistance since November, but no help has been rendered till date. And Concerned Citizens and Human Rights Director Richard Nkua is appealing to relevant authorities and well-wishers to assist Ms. Chongo as she is in pain. Mr. Nkua has further called on the Ministry of Labour to ensure that foreign companies respect the labour laws of the country.
Appealing to the relevant authorities to come on board and help our sister who is at pain right now. Despite following all the channels which she has followed, the companies have decided to pay this here. We are appealing to the Ministry of Labour. We are also appealing to the Human Rights Commission. We are also appealing to other relevant authorities that can come on board and help our sister to see to it that the company they follow the guidelines of our land.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Right, we have seen a complaint coming from, an employee who actually, found herself in an accident, and the companies are seemingly not paying attention to actually, giving her compensation as regards, her health, because it happened in the course of duty. Your reaction, Mr. Mukelabai?
Thank you so much. You see, I think it is important also for employees to get to know their rights before, when they are busy entering into a contract with the employer, that you look at their conditions and you also ask questions to their employer. If the employer has a scheme where they contribute for eventualities such as injuries whilst in the line of duty, or cause of death, or dying whilst in the line of duty. And we have the law, we have an umbrella of the law in our labor law. I think we have an act, the Workmen's Compensation Act of 1999. I don't know if it has been amended. We know very well that the employer are mandated by law to contribute to workmen's compensation. And in the absence of them contributing to this insurance scheme, they actually can be penalized, So yes, we cannot stop accidents from happening. The lady was right for having put up a claim or to complain that the employer is supposed to step in and help out in terms of medical expenses or other expenses that she may incur whilst seeking medical, taking care of her health situation. She was involved in a road traffic accident. Yes, but for the company to come in, I think the best thing she can do is to simply get better first, because you cannot be claiming compensation and claiming for damages or medical expenses when you are still unwell yourself. You are sick. So the first thing I would suggest is that life matters first. Your life is important than the employer. You can take on your employer later on. The best thing she ought to have done is to simply get her medical, whatever expenses she may incur, let her keep the receipts, let her keep all the documentation in place, let her be healthy first, let her be better. And after that, that's when now she can pursue. She can either engage a lawyer, like we have already seen that she's engaged some human rights organization in the community that are helping her. And those are people, they should just not alarm the situation, but they should follow the right, this issue treat this issue with the competence it deserves, and let them not just report and say they are handling the matter, but they should state what are her rights. Read the contracts, look at the condition of services. Is she by law entitled? What type of conditions of services did she sign against? Probably there could be a clause, even when there's even when we know there's an umbrella law that tells us compel employers to contribute to workmen's compensation. Employers and employees can actually have an agreement, either amend or discuss or agree on that issue. If it is not showing in their contract or in their condition of service, then yes, then we can seek legal redress to have the intervention of the court to come in and interpret. But in this case, you can clearly see that she is only claiming for medical expenses. What about her injuries? What about how extensive is her injury after the accident? Are those injuries permanent? Are those injuries temporal? If they are permanent injuries, who should assess? What are the doctors saying? What is the assessment? What are they saying over her injuries? Is she going to live with that disability? Has she suffered any disability that will stay with her for until life? Or it's just temporal? So these are issues that you look at. It's not just about medical expense. No, you are looking at the damage, the injury itself, the extent of your injury whilst in the line of duty. Yes, she was in the line of duty. She is entitled to either some form of scheme, insurance, compensation, for as long as she keeps record. The vehicle she was traveling in must have been insured. The vehicle that she has also collided with, if at all they collided, must have also have an insurance. The work where she works also have insurance. So if they don't have, then she can take up this matter, let her engage a lawyer, take up this matter when she's healthy and when she's very healthy and physically fit, and take up this matter to court and claim for any damage, including punitive damage for the pain and suffering. And that could be a lot of money that can even see the company close. So if the employer is listening, I would rather go and attend to this woman immediately and pay the medical expenses and let the dust settle. Unlike keeping her going to human rights organization, she's blowing up the trumpet, and the employer will be exposed for non-payment of contribution of compensation or the insurance schemes. That will be a penalty from the government. So it's for her, it will be, she only wants medical expenses. She's not asking for damages for the pain and suffering. So I would urge the employer, listen to your employees' cry and come to her aid. You are obligated by law to provide for all those medical expenses, including compensating her for the pain and suffering and the disability that she may have or that she may have suffered as a result of getting involved in a line of involved in an accident in a line of duty. I rest my case there.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelawai. Himba, your reaction to that?
Thank you so much, Chaza. Mkelawai has put it clear and in the easier language for everyone to understand. I'm not going to talk about the employer. I'm going to talk to the government and especially the Ministry of Labor. You know, this is not the only case. We have a lot of cases where workers are being abused. We have a lot of cases where workers are being disadvantaged. Venangu babakomela mu companies, venangu babakomela mukatu mu factories in their own country. Venangu ni domestic workers, they are being abused by fellow citizens. You know, so basically what I'm trying to say, the Ministry of Labor, when the Zambian people voted you into government, when we voted you into government, we basically looked at, we trusted you with our lives. We trusted you with our interests. We trusted you with our well-being. So you can't be in the office when your clients are being abused out there. If we look at this woman, she doesn't even know what she's supposed to claim. Are you doing sensitization to the workers? Are you making sure that these companies that are operating on the land of Mother Zambia are following the constitutional rules? Because if you look at this woman, she's actually, even now, she doesn't even understand that she needs compensation. All she's asking for is medical fees, which have also been denied. That's not fair. And where is the government? Your government, you are there to protect the interest of the Zambian people. And if you can't protect the interest, especially the ordinary people, then you are failing your people. You are failing your voters. So as a minister, if you are seated in the office and you are seeing such cases, you have to start scratching your head. You have to ask, oh, where are we going wrong? Where are we failing? Where are we not fulfilling our obligations? The ministry, my officers from the ministry, Kakanku district offices, they should go into these companies and inspect what is happening in these companies. workers are being abused. Venangu vamatukaniwa, there's vembakazi vagonewa unnecessarily, they are humiliated, they are insulted. A lot of things are happening. The government, where are you? We didn't just vote for you to be speaking English or to be reading speeches for us. No, we want you on the ground. We want you to protect our rights. We want you to protect the interest of the ordinary poor Zambian person on the ground. That's what we are looking at. Vantu vavutika makampanies omu. Venangu, they've died. Basiya vana with no compensation, well on duty. Venangu vankalila to disabled for the rest of their lives. And they've never received any compensation from the government, from the companies. And then we are saying we have the government. No, hell no. The government, you need to pull up your socks. You need to come in and protect our interest. We are in the 21st century where such things should be things that will be easily dealt with. We need sensitization. Let the Zambian people know their claim. Let the Zambian people know their rights. You know, conditions. People are desperate for employment. In such a situation where people are desperate for employment, what does the government do? You have to come and say, protect your people. Because I don't have a job. Then I find somebody who's saying, Zambo kulipila 2 pin. I'll go for it. But the government should come and say, I'm only 2 pin. Ikapo ni 800. Yeah, if to protect the workers. So the government, please come in and save us. We are struggling. We are suffering in these companies. Your people need your support. Your people need your protection. That woman, she needs medical support. She needs to be compensated. I submit.
Right, Himba, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And those of you that are following the program and you'd like to participate, to make known your reactions to the stories that we have, you can actually leave us a comment right in the comment section, and we'll appreciate to know your reactions as regards the stories that we are giving you. And just in case you'd like to join us live right on set, you can actually get to click on the link that we have shared for StreamYard. Then you come live right on set. I can see that there's a comment there, the director of the program to actually beam it. All right, this one is coming from, our participant from Facebook, Mr. Mubanga Nasieku, who is actually saying, Workman's Compensation Fund must be provided to workers by all companies. So he's actually agreeing with what Mr. Mukelawa said, and also what the Act itself for Workman's Compensation is providing, that all companies are actually supposed to be under the compensation fund as regards injuries that are occasioned on the employees in the course of duty. Thank you so much, Mr. Nasieku. We greatly appreciate. Let's take a look at the next story and we come back right after it.
Authorities in Zimbabwe, having taken into account that the gentleman, Honorable Kambweli, had entered into Zimbabwe illegally, they decided to deport him from Zimbabwe. For they believe, and rightly so, that they cannot allow illegality to be perpetrated on the Zimbabwean soil. Ourselves, working together with the Zimbabwean authorities, accepted and received the deported Chishimba Kambwili yesterday around 23 hours at the Chirundu border post. I want to dismiss the allegations that are being made by several social media platforms which are run by the PF, that we as Zambian government mistreated Chishimba Kabwili. That is far from the truth.
That's a position of the government, that stories going round, as indicated by the minister on social media, that the government has mistreated Mr. Chishimba Kabwili, and as a result of which he fled to a neighboring country. Actually, just lies. And it is also reported that Mr. Chishimba Kabwili entered, that other country illegally, and he was deported. Let me invite Mr. Mkelawai to come, first and react to that story.
Well, thank you so much, Chaza. I don't understand why the government is even so concerned about explaining themselves, exculpating themselves over the propaganda that we know the PF are good at. And Chishimba Kabwili himself knows, okay, where has it taken them? They wanted to abrogate the law, or they abrogated the law. Where has it taken Chishimba Kabwili today? We knew that he is not a factor for now. We know that he's unwell, and he has a condition, and is in deep trouble. Whoever is busy feeding him with all this illicit falsehood propaganda in his head that he takes as gospel truth and act on it, even decide to break the law. It's so unfair for himself together with his family, because at the end of the day, it is the family that are going to foot the bills. It is the family that are busy running from one place to another, or in trying of saving this man's life. The people, the so-called PF propaganda, they are coming up with all sorts of allegations that are so far from the truth, where they are accusing the government that the government wants to kill Chishimba Kabwili because he's popular. Please, why? Why can't they deal with Lungu? Why can't they deal with even Membe? But Chishimba Kabwili, of all people, Chishimba Kabwili, if the government wanted to deal with him, they could have dealt with him the very moment he started soliciting for money from the governor of Bank of Zambia. He had so many cases. Chishimba Kabwili right now, it is his sins that are busy haunting him. We wish him well. We wish him well, that he gets better so that he can come and correct this false narrative. The government has got nothing to do with Chishimba Kabwili. Instead, the government has extended an arm to help him, to facilitate for his medical attention elsewhere from experts, leaving your own country. So I don't understand. Well, you break the law. You enter into a country without a documentation. When you know for sure that you are supposed to have documentation, you go in there. The Zimbabwean authorities have the right to deport such a person. They found him, they got hold of him, and they extradited him. They deported him out of that country to Zambia. And when you do that, the Zambian authority on the other side, they are ready to receive you. But when they receive you, they are also going to investigate. Why did you want to leave? What is going on? What do you have on your plate? Only to find that this man is a convict, criminal convict, who wanted to escape from a lawful custody. He has a case that is going on in court. He appealed after being found guilty for hate speech and being tribal. So he wants to run away and claim that he's been persecuted. It is his own doing. These are his own doing. I'm supposed to feel sorry for Chimbakambwili right now, but I don't know why I have this feeling that he is doing this to himself. And those people who claims to love him, to be around him, they are actually worsening. They hate him because they want him to break the law. They are pushing him to break the law. Hakainde's government is not there to persecute people, because this time around, if they were ready to revenge on how they were treated, this government is not there to, has no time to chase one individual that has put himself in that position, because that sickness, it is his own doing. You're out of, you don't exercise, that's your problem. Now things are haunting you. On top of that, you are a politician who has created more enemies around yourself because of your mouth. You are even convicted because of your mouth. So Chimbakambwili created this problem to himself, and those claiming to love him, they are worsening his situation by trying to tell him to break the law and escape from a lawful custody or from the country when you have your passport is being held by the authority. Now, where has it taken him? The Zimbabwean cannot, even if the Zimbabwean ZANU-PF they are in contact and in collaboration with the PF of Zambia. We saw how it happened during the inauguration, blah, blah, blah. But the law is the law. He is back. Why did they protect him, the ZANU-PF people in Zimbabwe? They knew that he broke the law and they push him back. So it is now up to the government to either send him to South Africa or to India. Chimbakambwili has no right to put up a condition. Right now, the government is helping him. Chimbakambwili family, the lawyers, they don't have any right to put up a condition because he's a convict who has broken the law and he has violated his parole or the bond or the bail. So he's in for it. Let him just get better and then face this challenge. Or else, Boa Kainde should just come in and maybe probably exercise his power, his prerogative of mercy by pardoning him from this crime that he was given. Because this badge, it will haunt him for the rest of his life. Let me rest my case.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mukelawai. We greatly appreciate. Let's get to hear what Himba has to say over this issue.
Thank you so much, Chaza. I'll start on a very controversial note, which Mukelawai has ended on, where he said the president should come and pardon him. I'm going to react with a question. CK, the president should come and pardon him. Who is going to pardon the pain of the Zambian people which he caused? Who's going to pardon those people who come from Southern Province, whom he humiliated, insulted? Who's going to pardon those people who've got, the father is coming from Northwestern Province, the mother is coming from Eastern Province? Who's going to, because he worked hard to break those ties. And some of the homes were broken because of his advocate for hate and pain in families. Did he realize how his mouth costed some families? Did he realize how right now he has manipulated the minds of the young people who would even speak and say, I hate this tribe, I hate this tribe. So who's going to pardon those? For me, CK should be, actually, the government should really pay attention to him and look after him very well so that he gets well very soon and answer his questions. He needs to finish his sentence. He needs to pay for what he did. He needs to pay for the pain he's caused for the Zambian people. These politicians, when we vote them into power, we don't vote for them to come and humiliate us and take advantage of us. We vote for them to look after us, to look into our interest.
I actually saw a video where Mr. Shimba Kambwili was lamenting and, seemingly crying and saying, Mr. President, kindly forgive me all my past mistakes. I know I did so much, against you, but please forgive me, I'm suffering. So then having such a confession, crying for being pardoned, and you are vehemently, against that. Why is it so?
It's all right. Actually, that was a private call, Chaza, which was direct to the president. So CK called the president in his own personal capacity to the president as a person, as HH. He didn't say on behalf of the Zambian people. He was speaking on his behalf, and he didn't send the president to come and talk to us, whom he insulted, whom he caused pain, so that we can forgive him. So it's the president, he can forgive him in his own capacity. But has he come to us as the Zambian people to ask for help? He hasn't. Has he come to us, the Zambian people, to ask us how we felt? He hasn't. However, the same CK we are talking about, after that video, what did he say in Zimbabwe? He was like, the president wants to kill me. The same president. So he just talks out to fit the situation he's in at that particular moment. For now, I wish him quick recovery so that he come and answer. These politicians, they should stop taking the citizen for granted. They should stop taking our lives for granted. They should be answerable. We are their bosses. We employ them. They should be answerable. What CK did was wrong. It should not be accepted. Right now, a lot of young people, their mind has been intoxicated. Their minds are bitter because of the message. When you're speaking, you're speaking to the mind of the people. You don't even know who you are speaking to. One of the things that really captured when he was saying, this is he, ha, ha, ha. Who talks like that? This is a role model. This is a political leader. This is an influencer. He's got young people who look up to him. So other young people think that's the way to go about in the country. We are saying abash discrimination, abash tribalism, abash division. Him in his own capacity. For me, CK, he should pay for his sins, and he's not even a politician. And I'm not happy that the government is even evacuating him when CK is on record saying he can fly to England in the morning for a cup of tea and come back to Zambia. So if he is able to fly for a cup of tea, why can't he evacuate himself from medical attention? I submit, Chaz.
Thank you so much, Himba. And Lucky Dube sang that be careful what you say today, because it might just come and haunt you tomorrow. Bob Marley said, one love, let's get together and feel all right. Let's take a look at the next story.
Alcohol and substance abuse among young people has been a challenge for decades now. Statistics indicate that 1,212 people aged between 12 and 35 accessed counseling services for alcohol and illicit drug dependency in 2022. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu is concerned that young people from as early as 12 years are abusing alcohol and drugs. Mr. Mwimbu was speaking during the launch of the first ever national policy on drug and substance control and its implementation plan in Lusaka.
As government, we acknowledge with concern that the increase in young people indulging in drugs and substance abuse is a sign that the family, which is the most important unit in society has dropped its guard.
Meanwhile, United Nations Resident Coordinator Beatrice Montali said the policy reflects Zambia's dedication to addressing drug and substance abuse.
This policy launch aligns with the global efforts championed by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, UNODC, to promote balanced health, and human rights-centered approaches to drug control.
Drug Enforcement Commission Director General Nason Banda said the policy will make the Commission move in line with international standards.
We are very proud as an institution. From 1989, when the institution was formed, we have not had a deliberate policy to guide us other than the laws that were already in place as it was being formulated.
Kanyama Member of Parliament Monty Chinkuli called for concerted effort to prevent substance abuse in young people.
Drugs have actually become a hindrance to all forms of development, be it economic development, social, human, all those.
Later, Mr. Mwimbu visited various exhibition stands. Mary Kachepa, ZNBC News, Lusaka.
Definitely a good cause to actually, try and curb the root cause of, the perpetration that is going on from what are called the junkies out of substance abuse. And my concern is actually the byproducts of, the drug abuse itself, because there's a lot of, criminality. People are being attacked on the streets, in town and other streets, including the compounds, and, things are being taken away from them. What is the government doing about it, apart from, trying to come up with these policies that, are aimed at ridding of drug abuse? Himba, your reaction? Do we still have Himba here? Maybe it's a connectivity challenge. Okay, let me invite Mr. Mkelabai. Mr. Mkelabai, your reaction?
Well, thank you so much, Chaza. They say charity begins at home. What we see today, when we see our society or the young ones are indulging themselves in illicit activities such as drugs, alcohol, sex, well, it is trickling down to parentage. Parents, homes are broken down. Most of homes, they are broken down. And most of these young ones today are being brought up by either extended families, family members, or a single parent, because there's no father figure, or there's no mother figure, or there's no both. And these children are just on the street without any structure, family structure. There are very few that have family structure, because and people are failing to have this family set up into have a family of mother, father figure in a home. So it is difficult for family, for the young ones to grow up in a well-disciplined home. So it is important as a country that we should go back to our moral code and try to organize ourselves as families and put our children in order. We know that there are so many human rights today, and there are so many children that are out there without families ties, but we need to put up mechanism on how to monitor and inculcate these good morals in our society. We should not allow children to be on their own. We should not neglect children. It is a crime to neglect your own children. It is a crime to neglect your family. So we should not, we should concentrate and look into this issue and help out the government. The government cannot deal with this matter alone. The government cannot deal with this matter alone. And the government will never finish or end this issue, these challenges that we claim to have today. We shall never have these problems. We shall never finish these problems if we just want to leave everything to a government. How many government institutions do we have that are in supervising and make sure that drugs and illicit activities are against how many people? The population of 20 million. So it takes two to tango. Both parties should come in and help the country. Our young ones today, our young men and women today, look really neglected in terms of teaching them the right things, the good morals. We are no longer, we are asking questions about Christianity. When we want to bring them into Christianity, we find pastors, they are busy sleeping with them, or pastors, they are busy doing other foolish things, you know. And how do we, because they are confused. They go to church where they think they are going to have moral codes, good morals. The churches, they're indulging themselves in illicit activities themselves. They want to, they're hypocrites. They go to the government, the politicians are abusing them. They're using them. They even buy them alcohol as the cadres. They go to families, family members, extended family members, they neglect them, they abandon them, they chase them from them, they abuse them, they beat them. So you find the children are now busy on the street. What happens? They are growing. They are not constantly going to be in children. They are growing. They become adults. And what kind of adults are we going to have out of the kind of treatment we are giving as a society when our society is full of moral decay? Definitely. We will have drunkards. We will have children that are indulging them because they don't know anything to do with normal. They don't know anything we can call normal today. They have no clue because they don't have a father figure. They don't have a mother figure. They go to politicians. The politicians are worse. They are just abusing them. They are users. They're using the youths. They go to church. The pastors, the papa, they are busy using them and abusing them. So where are our children going to go? They go on social media. They resort themselves in porn and information today. It's on their fingertips. They Google. They find out. They ask Uncle Siri, Auntie Siri, Uncle Google of anything they want, and then they live their lives. So it is society, us elderly people, who are to blame in this issue. There's nothing, we cannot point a finger at these young ones who are indulging themselves in illicit activities. It is us, adults, who have neglected them, and it start from us to do something. So let's work together with the government and put these good rules and good morals so our children can stop insulting people on social media, can stop attacking each other from social media, using profanities on social media in a Christian nation, and also cage these papas who are busy acting ultra-virus, who are acting contrary to what the book, the holy books, stipulates. So let's put these chaps in, cage them, if we want our society to be in the right, not just by word of mouth, viva voce. Tafia kabombi ukulonda twalilanda kale. Tafibomba. We will talk, but nothing will come out. Let's act, cage people, come up with stiffer laws. Let me rest here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelabai. We do appreciate And I can see Himba is right back with us. Himba, kindly come through and tell us your viewpoint on this issue. Maybe she's still struggling, to connect. All right, those of you that have just joined us or you are there following, would like to make cognizance of your presence. Those of you that are following via Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, we greatly appreciate. And once more, this is Ubuntu channel, and you are following the program called My Point of View. And this program is designed to actually, give you headlines and stories of the week, and to which you make your reactions known, or your voice known as regards the stories that we do give you. Let's go to the next story, and we come back right after it.
Holding back her tears, Roshni Piri narrates how she went to Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital to deliver and welcome her newborn twins to the world, only to be told after the operation that her womb was empty. Roshni Piri alleges that on February 1st, 2024, she went into labor, and upon arrival at the hospital, 3 scans were carried out on her that solidified that she needed an operation in order to deliver safely.
Vananipima nokamba tusanga pape buno since my operation ya paka. It's better ende kuti ku theater. So zona vananishita maskani almost 3 or 5. Ati awe muntu aende ku theater. Nyume naendera ku theater. After vanishita operation onuza timara stina pezemo chili chonse.
Mrs. Amukena says she has been carrying her babies for the past 9 months and has been going for her antenatal appointments that prove that she was indeed pregnant.
Na mimba 9 months. So pamene zochitira antenatal ku 7 years airport vananiuza ti mimba ikauka noti mukapapire pano mukaende ku Mwanawasa.
And husband Royd Amukena alleges that he vividly heard the sounds of a baby crying the moment he was called by the nurse, who informed him that his wife was not carrying anything in her womb.
Poyanka phone nenzombera munyansi kwenzolira mwana manye pane vanani muzaivo nanzeru zinasokonezeka naine ati mimba inakwanisa 9 months futi mimba ikulu apa lero wakambia ati mumimba mulibe chilimo.
The couple want an explanation from the hospital over the whereabouts of their babies.
Poenda ku theater vamapereka chabe munhu alibe mimba vangauze munhu amungamba kudara ndiye ukamba ati mara kubve chamene tapezamo nenifuna uziva chikuru chamene vanapeza mara mwanga vanirangiza
futi nenifuna pamene nifuna vana vanga ndava scan singa nami manje aukamwa ava vave wakamba ati mumala musi vanapezemo chili chonse olo muntu sunga ngambe muntu aina ungambe muntu palibe reason.
And when contacted for a comment, Levi Mwanawasa Hospital has promised to engage the couple over the matter. Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
If this happened indeed, it is a dangerous thing and very unusual.
It is quite unusual, and it's something that they really need to to explain. I don't know why the hospital authority decided to give such kind of information to a woman that was about to be in labor, and took her to the operations room where she was sedated, and believe everything happened in the absence of the husband. And the husband, he could even claim that there was a cry, and then suddenly was told something happened, that there was nothing in the womb. Well, the authority needs to really come out clean on this one, or the people that operated on her need to come out clean on this issue. It could be that maybe she gave birth to some kind of a deformatory or disfigured child, and they didn't want to, unless they have such a policy in the hospital. But whatever comes out of a stomach of the womb of a woman should be communicated to the woman. She has records from her under 5 clinic, for antenatal clinic, where there was a follow-up, where she was being told everything was okay. She was very much pregnant. And then she goes to the hospital for delivery. She's told that the issue, the story is not adding up. I know this is not adding up and does not make sense. And anything that doesn't make sense, something is fishy. It's not okay for the authority to actually hide in the name of your stomach was empty. They should not say, shouldn't have said that. That's not a medical way of responding to a patient who was in their custody. They're supposed to explain a scientific chain. You know, sometimes it's important. I don't want people to now go and start speculating on the so-called supernatural, and because I know that that's what they are trying to come up with. And we also have issues to do with the child abductions, or people stealing children and give such children to couples that are struggling, wealthy couples that are struggling, that are looking forward to have children. We know that people are craft, but we don't want to speculate. So the management, hospital management, needs to come to the aid and explain, or else this woman, she has the right to engage a lawyer and sue for malpractices by the hospitals. They have to come up with the right way of engaging this couple and tell them the truth. They have been expecting a child. And where is their child? The hospital knows. The hospital should know. They should even have taken pictures when they should have even been taking videos when they were taking her for theater. They are keeping records. They have records. So they have to prove otherwise. So let them not beat about the bush and start explaining, unless this woman had another condition, which the hospital themselves, they are the scientists who are supposed to explain. The reason why you are feeling like you are pregnant is because you were carrying this. There was air in your stomach. There was this and this. They should explain biologically. Let them explain, not just to say it was empty. No, nothing was empty. There was something in there. Even air is something they should report about. So this issue is not making any sense. And then the management, hospital management, should come to the aid and just give the information. They should not hide. If the child was disfigured, something that was not supposed to be published, then they should say so, than hiding, because it is the right of the owners of a child, no matter whatever condition the child was in, they are supposed to give that information, and they're not the ones to make that choice, terminate or rather to keep that child away from. They're not the ones. it is the right of the parents. So the story is not okay, and the hospital management should do something about this. We need a well scientific, professional feedback from the hospital management, the people that undertook this operation. That's my take.
Thank you, Mr. Mkelawai. And he who knows it, feels it. We can only imagine the kind of pain, especially that, scans showed that they were twins after all. And being told that there was nothing but, maybe air, like Mr. Mkelawai has indicated, which, leaves so much to be desired. Let's get to hear it from somebody with experience, a woman. Kimba.
Chaza, thank you so much. As I make my contribution on this matter, I pray to God that He gives
experience in terms of empty stomach or what?
Experience in terms of carrying a baby for such a long time. You are so expectant. You are saying, this is the time that I hold my baby, and they tell you there was nothing.
Okay.
I pray to God that as I submit my contribution on this matter, I should use the right words, and I should use the right. I should not be very offensive. As Kelevai has said, when you are struggling to make sense out of a situation, then just know that that thing is not true. With the truth, you don't have to struggle to add 1 + 1. And secondly, Imwema human rights activist, where are you? You are going to find that they will go and advocate for a politician. Such people, no one to speak for them. This is an insult to a woman. This is wrong. Muntu anyamula mwana anyamula kana mimba for 9 months aenda kwa antenatal. So when you are going to the antenatal, so bako antenatal sana muone kuti mulibe chintumu pebenzo pima bapima ti muntu chipema, so sibenzo mvera kuti kuli chintu chechipema musi chipema mascan yonsayo, all those scan there's nothing. So once I mascan yonzo kamba muli twins kubofika palast day at there is nothing. This woman for 9 months. So once my medical personnel who attended to her, no one was able to notice that there's just a balloon in this time. There are no children. So at what point do those children tend to be balloons and not stop being human beings? It's totally an insult. And I should declare my interest. I stand with this woman. And I wish you are Ubuntu, you can follow up this case and you know how it's going to end. This woman needs our support. I don't care with the children. For me, as Kelevai has said, ingape bana bachita operate banabula bapeza muli matumbo yeka sembe bana bakopera tapeza matumbo aya o sembe bana leta muntu bamulangiza o bamuna bao as we operated. This is what we found. Mulibe bana vija vebenzo mvera wako antinento olo maskani ni vaboza. And if they knew that there was air or there was nothing in that womb, why did they suggest that she goes for operation? So all those, for me, all those who ever attended to her on the first day to clinic, they should all be involved. They should be investigated. We want to know the truth about this matter. Bana basoba ma hospitals. Bana basoba, and with some parents are just told, mwana wanu afa. Olo afa mwana wanga if is badwa okufa, I need to see my dead child. Mr. Mkeleba, even when my child dachoka, nikwendo kweka, I need to see that leg. No one has the right. I'm the only one and the father who can authorize what should be done. Whether ni blood yeka yachoka, we should be told that 9 months mwenzo nkala mkudia mango mkudia chani kwa choka blood yeka. They should. No one. So among the doctors who had the right to, if the child was deformed or whatever it was, who had the right to make a decision whether to throw it? Nanga bene wakenzo kamba tizampeleka ku India ife tizashita. So basically the truth should be given to the Zambian people, and may we support this couple. May we know where these children are. Ngani umozi, inga wanafa bana batilangize, bana endo babaringa bakatiuze. And who gave the authority to bury these children? This is wrong. This is not right. The human rights activists, we are not going to come back to speak on behalf of Kambwi that no one is, they are not allowing him, they are not allowing people to visit him. These are the issues you need to advocate for. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And we do have a comment from someone following through Facebook, but I'm not sure of the name. If it is as I can see it is written as Engine Mbewe. Engine Mbewe. I don't know if it was intended to be Eugene or as it is Engine Mbewe, saying they were supposed to give proper information, especially the ones in the operation room. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mbewe. We greatly appreciate your contribution right here on My Point of View. Due to time, it's unfortunate, we need to wind down. They say whatever goes up must come down. It's been a great pleasure to actually have those of you following on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter to follow the program right here on Ubuntu channel. Not forgetting my panel, Himba Malambo and Mr. Mkelabai. Thank you so much for coming through right on the program. And on behalf of the program itself, My Point of View, your host, my name is Charles. Until next week, God bless you all.